Morning everybody. Another chilly day. As you would have seen, Dad is out there in the D7 at the moment. We've just started, well, he's just started pushing out a bit of a track alongside that old stone wall. Yeah, so we're right into it. Seems to be going okay at the moment. He's just over halfway along the wall. He's also going to run up along the other boundary fence up where he is, up to the paddock oats, and then he's going to push down another track along the other side just to make the paddock a little bit more accessible for us. And then yeah, so I'll run you through what's going on. I'll show you with the drone and I'll speak while that's happening. All right, so you can see there, Dad's almost down to that bottom corner, which is the end of our farm on both sides of that fence there. So you can see where he's been up along that wall. He's pushed it out. I'm way up here at the ute at the very start of the line where he started. We've cut the fence down so we can get the dozer into that paddock, and also pushed a bit of rock and stuff out of the way, and Dad's going to put a big gate in at the end of this fence. So where he is now, he's going to come down to that bottom corner, and then he will, if we get the camera to look there, he'll come up along that other fence, so coming up to the left of the screen, and then he's going to try and push another little track up there. Yeah, push a track up along that fence there, and then come up to that paddock of oats you can just see in the top. Then follow it back around, and there's a trough about halfway up along that fence line that he's also going to try and get to as well. Couple of bloody big rocks come out of that section. Big one there, he's got another one in front of him as well. You can just see how big some of the rocks are under the ground. Like an iceberg just about. Very small on the top, but enormous underneath. I just got Dad with me. He's just brought the bulldozer out of this paddock. He's going to quickly go back in and just fill a hole in where one of the massive rocks came out. I think he's finished making his tracks in there, so I'll give you a DMing and let you know how he went, and tell you what his plans are next. Yeah, g'day viewers.
Oh well, we got our fence line cleared so we can get up and down with our fencing materials instead of banging over rocks and bloody whatever along there. And then I just roughly put a couple of marks across the paddock because it's all full of rocks and tussocks, as you can see, and it's a bit hard to get around with any quad bikes, two-wheelers or tractors or whatever to bring hay in or even just go around the stock. So once we get it fenced and we get some stock in here, they'll knock it all down a bit and they'll track around these tracks and then they'll keep them down. So it'll make it a bit easier for anyone coming in to get stock out or just going around generally checking them. So yeah, we've done that now. Might go into another, well, we'll go down and finish pushing those rocks out of the way where we were yesterday, and then I'll see what happens after that. So we'll string this bit of fence back up a little bit and yeah, I'll go and push this hole in soon. The boss reckons it's a rough sort of a show, so better do what I'm told. Alright.
Well, someone will drive in there and break an axle or break a leg or something, so won't be me. I know who it'll be. Anyway, that's going to do that. We'll come back to you in a little bit. Rightio, Dad's been going for a little while. We're out here in the paddock with the cattle at the moment, the main herd of cattle. So the area he's been working on now. Behind me there's a large rock barrier. It's the biggest one on the farm, I think. And this was these areas. So there was there was two rock barriers and a pile of rocks that took up this area here, all with it sort of, you can see it's all been worked with the bulldozer. Dad's turned it into two smaller piles of rocks, so I've actually gained a hell of a lot of, well, not a hell of a lot of land, a bit more farmable land just by moving that all. It'll make it a little bit easier for us to work, because there was only small gaps in between the rock barriers, and you had to weave your way through with the machines, and you'd end up reworking ground a lot of the time because you were trying to like work this center gap where I'm standing. And yeah, there's like, it's sort of similar to where that little alleyway is between the two rock barriers. There was sort of the problem we had, was we were working these little areas in between piles of rocks. So I've opened it up a bit more, and that should give us a bit more land to crop. And no doubt we've dug up a hell of a lot of little rocks we have to pick now. There's so many rocks in this paddock, it's the worst one on the farm. Oh, they're just, yeah, they're everywhere. I've been out here and picked on it a couple of years ago, and just we didn't even get like, you know, 1/10 of them. So we'll have heaps of rocks to pick next time we work this paddock. And yeah, all the paddocks where we've been using the bulldozer, they'll probably get ploughed next anyway, because they're pretty rough. The first one we were out in yesterday will get ploughed because it still has raised beds, and this one will get ploughed because we've had the dozer in here and we'll have to, and also because it's pretty rough from having the cattle in here. So Dad's over here just turning a couple of little piles of rocks into a bigger one. I'm not sure what we're doing after this, but we'll see what happens. Alright, and Dad's decided that that's enough for one day, so he's finishing up with the dozer for today. Got most of what we wanted to do done, didn't you?
Yeah, you could always do more, but how much fun can one man have? Yeah, it's Sunday, I'm going to knock off.
There you go. So if no one wants this, it'll be here next weekend, and you might do some more. Yeah, so might be a little bit more to do. Dad was talking about putting a drain in this paddock to get some of this water off of it. But yeah, see what happens anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Just a bulldozer video. So hopefully you enjoyed it, found it interesting. I know it's a bit different to what we usually have up, but it's still pretty cool to have the old dozer out here. So yeah, any questions, leave them down below in the comments, and we'll catch us in the next one. All right.